So the state said no more potable water, rainwater, unless it's done by code. So Mandy Mahoney, who was the sustainability, she said, hey, this is great, let's do it. So she got permission from the state for the city to do it, which is kind of a technicality, and they started writing it out. And so I saw the first draft without the billing, and it's, yeah, it's fine. You know, it's simple. Plus, they're putting in plumbing code as we speak for rainwater harvesting, and potable will probably get in there eventually. But they said, we got to figure out how the billing. My project hasn't been finished because the guy ran out of money. My Bob Drew, who did the retrofit, mine was a new construction. His was a retrofit. His is working. It's fine. You know, and then I think he did one in Decatur, but that's a different system. That's DeKalb County or City of Decatur.
Well, the thing we're doing is that we think that the legislation is reasonable with its intent. I mean, I think that's what you also were saying in the beginning of the draft with the fees, and that's when it becomes a challenge, because we have examples in Colorado and other areas where the legislative creep led to onerous restrictions around.
You go east of the Mississippi, it comes Western Water Law, which is a whole other thing. We don't have that.
Right.
California came up, and I've talked to this guy, and I don't know if he's on there. No, but there's a guy, Pat somebody from Orange County, who's in charge of some of the programs, and I talked to him, and they came up with this in 2007, and he said it's not been a big deal. Atlanta's thing is they say the administrative costs are what is the issue.
For a sewage process.
Right. And I understand that, but what they've done is two ways to look at it. First of all, if you do 3,000 gallons a month or less, it's free. Second, you have two choices. You can just come in and we'll do an estimation. So they'll, I don't know, if you look at the water bill, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, how many people, and then they come up with estimated use on that. Or you can put in a meter. He said most people have done estimated, some people do a meter. My guess, if stuff starts happening commercially, buy the meter, because you're going to put a system in. But for someone to buy a residential, to buy a meter, you know.
Yeah.
Plus, if you figure the fees out,
Is this a copy I can have?
you can have that. Yeah. If you figure the fees out, it's probably 2/3 of the sewer fee, and a lot of the sewer fee goes to stormwater.
Yeah. See, that's what we want. We actually want a ratio of the current sewer fee for urban ag use of water, because we don't want to pay the same price that.
Well, then you get into another issue with irrigation meters. You know about those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the current ones are not available. Like
You can do irrigation meters.
Essentially
just
not
put in
available. It's so prohibitive. I mean, okay, go ahead. Maybe something happened since the
Well,
last time I looked.
I haven't figured the numbers out, and they don't say that it is. In my May Atlanta water bill, the insert said, install an irrigation meter. It could save you money.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look, I haven't done a lot of audits of people's water, but there's people that use 20,000 gallons a month.
That's right.
And you drop $1,500, and you're not paying that sewer fee.
That's right.
You're going to save a lot.
That's right. We're there's citizens pushing, and a coalition through this group called ELFI that he has card for, that are lobbying for public policy that encourages urban agriculture. This is what ELFI is, a local food system policy think tank. We argue that it's economic, all this stuff you probably familiar, economic development, sustainability.
Yeah, no,
stuff.
I'm familiar. I have friends involved with it.
Right, so we just want some consideration for the public benefit for this movement by some adjustment in the water rates. Now, I'm not looking for
No, you're talking about, the water rates that you're just paying regularly?
For urban ag irrigation. Specifically for urban ag, not conjoined with.
I mean, okay, I see where you're going, and I understand your point.
Right.
To me, what needs to be done is they need to get off this spending all this money on reservoirs and put money into conservation in other ways.
That's right. And they did that during the drought. What happened is, nominally, what happened, it backfired because it lowered the amount of money they could collect for sewage. So we understand the situation that the city's in, and we understand the larger regional problem around,
Well, there are two things. I'm on the Ocmulgee River Basin Advisory Committee, which is part of the Metro District. I was on the Chattahoochee, and during the 2008 update, and I was talking to a woman I know who's on the TCCs, and in the plans, she says that when you do conservation measures, you have to budget for the loss of revenue.
That's right.
And Cobb County's done that.
That's right.
As other people doing
That's
it.
right. But Atlanta.
But the thing that happened in the drought was that they were made to turn. It was caught off guard. It was like 1 month you're getting this month, and the next month job. So they got hurt.
That's right.
But the thing is that they need to think about how to do this, because first of all, you could solve two problems if you went to rainwater harvesting. You'd have better growth in your plants,
That's
and
right.
you'd reduce the stormwater issue, which would hopefully save money.
Right. But the city's caught between needing to save money as well as ensure revenues to cover the court mandated costs for the sewage work. So it's like a catch-22 for them, and we're sympathetic to that. It's just that we don't want it to be inadvertently impacting urban agri movement, which is very much in its nascent stage here in Atlanta. And so it's a real small adjustment, sir. We're not looking for a lot of trouble around this issue. The only reason we had to do a press conference and try to, sort of galvanize public opinion is because there's such a poor buy-in process for these kind of ordinances. They come out of nowhere, and then like Alfie, Sustainability Office knows Alfie and did not even consult with Alfie.
Well, the Sustainability Office did not call them, because I asked them and the city, and the city didn't say anything, and Sustainability says no, we didn't have the time.
Right.
So I do one email, no response. I email another guy, get a call a day later.
That's right.
And we talk 15 minutes on the phone.
And no time because of what? I mean, where's the urgency? And what? So these are, so obviously what our first is the state is pushing up on. So those are kind of questions.
That's a whole nother thing as the governor.
Sure. And we were asking those kind of questions. Where does this legislation just doesn't drop from the sky? We wanted to know, what is the interested party that proposed this? And the guy at the Department of Watershed called me this morning in response to the press conference. He didn't have that answer. I want to give folks the benefit of the doubt. There could have just been lack of expertise in house, and like I said, folks would be under pressure from external parties and politically. And so this is just an opportunity to reinforce the tradition that we're trying to protect here in Atlanta of thorough, sincere, and integral community buy-in and participation.
Well, that's watershed management.
Sure. And then even the experts, like Alfie. I mean, they are available. They're all volunteer group that's available with a broad spectrum of expertise in these issues, far beyond mine. Mine, I'm just a civic advocate.
Sure.
But there are folks on Alfie, who are the lead certified, all this stuff.